we can't we can't increase our population by 1 million people a year when we're only adding 200,000 homes. That causes a major shortage, and many of these poor students are ultimately getting abused. We had the Brampton City government said that they had 26 people living in one basement. This is insane. This is not how Canada was before. And there's human trafficking. My wife is very passionate about human trafficking. There's drugs, and a lot of these poor kids end up going home in a body bag. So we're going to end the abuse, the fraud, and the excess numbers in the international student program. The temporary foreign worker program has been abused by corporations looking to drive down wages by bringing in many people from foreign countries, from poor countries who accept lower wages. That has to be changed, that only companies that genuinely search and cannot find Canadians will then be able to have those those workers. Finally, on refugees, we obviously welcome genuine refugees. My wife Anna was a genuine refugee to Canada. But the false refugee claims are a real problem, and they're gumming up the entire system. So we're going to bring in what I call a last in, first out policy. So the most recent arrivals who make a refugee claim will be the first to get their case heard. What this will do is those that are making fraudulent claims will be identified and respectfully sent home within a few months. And then the message will go out around the world that it's not worth it to try and get into Canada as a false refugee claimant, because you'll end up spending a lot of money and it won't end up working. And so right now the problem is people come here knowing they're not real refugees, but also knowing that it will take 7 years to go through the process, during which time they'll be able to stay. And that is not allowed. So we will cap, in terms of numbers, I am going to bring in a mathematical formula that ensures that this year's population growth is always at a lower rate than last year's housing stock growth. So if we grow our housing stock by 1.5% in, say, 2026, then we can't grow our population by more than 1.5% in 2027. That way, we always add add houses faster than we add people, which is the only way you get rid of the housing shortage. Thank you.
Well, my family migrated from Venezuela in 1995, and we arrived in Quebec and Montreal. We lived in the east end of Montreal, where my father's first job was to collect fruit and vegetables, because that was the only thing that he could do. We didn't speak the language, and education was not recognized.